Hi, everybody. My name is Neeta, and I am from Nurture Your Pet. Our mission with Nurture Your Pet is to post articles and blogs on our website, and through social media, just giving tips and advice on how to take care of your pet and how to nurture your pet. And along the way, we realized, wait a second, we are focused on how to nurture pet, but we're not realizing the importance of what a pet does for us, how a pet can help us heal, how a pet can nurture us. So it's not only we nurturing the pet, the value of a pet is tremendous in the ways he or she, a cat, a dog, whichever pet you have, can nurture us and make us feel happier and better. And this applies to all kinds of struggles you have in life. You could have anxiety, you could have a disability, you could have an illness. And Nurture Your Pet is expanding now in having a series of talks and interviews with people that are out there and they want to honor their pet and they want to you know, introduce the fact that what the pet has done for their lives in order to make people understand that also, when you adopt a pet, you're bringing not just a baby home, you're bringing a valuable angel home. It has the potential of so much love, unconditional love. So I have the pleasure now to introduce Geeta Lauchendani. Geeta has a gorgeous little doggy, and name is Honey. And Geeta is going to share with you her journey with Honey. And hi, Geeta. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Neetu? I'm
Are you?
fine. How about yourself?
I am great. I am so glad that you're here and relax and having a cup of tea with me and with all of us. We are here at a tea party, and
Absolutely.
I am so happy that you're sharing your journey, and maybe you can help so many other people realize the power that a pet has in your house. So I would like to start with asking you, what made you decide to get a pet?
Well, Neetu, I've actually always been a dog lover, but I hadn't had a dog for a long time since I've always had one since I was a child, but until I got married until 4 years ago, it was really, I was really encouraged to get a dog, I would say, kind of forced to get a dog because my daughter, who was in high school then 4 years ago, was in a terrible, terrible tragedy with her school. This was in February 2018 with the Parkland shooting at her high school. And she had just started there as a freshman and was in the building and experienced, as you can imagine, what she went through. And, we were, it affected all of us. It affected us as a community also. And she always wanted a dog, but I would never, I didn't have the time, or really, I was so attached to animals before that I said, no, it's going to be a lot of work and I'll have to be stuck with doing all the work. But this was really my calling to get her a dog. And, after she started going to school, after this happened, they would have tons and tons of emotional support dogs there. And in fact, other animals as well, where she would just be like, Mom, I need one because I feel their love. I feel at that time, she really didn't want to talk to anybody about her experience, not even a therapist. And she could only share that bond without talking with dogs. And she used to come home feeling depressed from school, but also at the same time saying, Mom, I'm so happy because I got to spend my time with emotional support dogs, and I feel that's what I need. So that was really my true calling. And I gave in to her, and I would say about a month after this happened in her school, it was right before Easter break, spring break, because she already had in mind what she wanted. She said, Mom, I want a Morkie, because 2 or 3 of her friends, actually, most of her friends had dogs. So she grew up with going to their houses and playing with dogs. And 2 of her really good friends had Morkies. So she already had a particular breed in mind. And, to me, so yes. So anyways, my daughter had already a particular breed in mind. So we went to a pet breeder and we were able to find a Morkie for her. And it was a Morkie. It was a female Morkie and a male Morkie. They were both siblings. And originally she thought that, hey, I like, because she wanted a darker one, a black and brown one. And that was a male one. And they were very cute, both of them. And she was, oh, I like the black one at first. And then when she heard it was a male, she was like, oh, and then Honey, which is what we have now, her name is Honey. The sister turned around and looked at her, and that was like, they met each other and that was it. When she saw her face and she's like, that one is a female, they just fell in love. They just had an instant bond. And my daughter was able to play with her, to see how they got along together, and they clicked phenomenally. That was it. It was like she found her match. So it was, and the coincidence is they put there's a little sign that they put, if a male, female, and their birth date. Well, her birth date was the same day as Angelina, not the same day, but they were 2 days apart. So Honey's birthday is on the 27th of Jan, and my daughter's birthday is a few days before. So they were both Aquarians. So yeah.
Fantastic. And so you brought Honey home, and initially when you brought her home, how did you see changes in Angelina? Like how soon did you see her? Because I think you mentioned that, among being quiet, her appetite was also decreased before Honey came home. So can you explain, for like, what were the things that Angelina struggled with at home, and how did Honey help her with that?
Well, the change was, it was actually, we also needed the healing. So it was me and my husband and her. So we needed the healing more than we actually realized. So she was healing us all.
Oh.
And there really wasn't, from the initial beginning, I really couldn't tell on her change, but you know what? It was the bond. As soon as we got her, all her attention and her energy was going off what she had experienced, which is great, into caring after her, getting to know her, learning to train her. We had to obviously we had to potty train her. She was 9 weeks old when we got her, so it was constantly potty training her and learning about her, getting her familiar with her surroundings, with her new environment, protecting her. And so all of that energy, attention was her mind was being taken off what she, her trauma, and going into her. And I noticed that she was more talkative. She was more communicative with us, because we had something to talk about other than what happened in her school, and her feelings, and she could just express her feelings. It was something that she couldn't express with us because she didn't want to talk about it with us at that time, where she was just bonding with her new fur baby, and sleeping with her and bonding with her. And I think I would say the answer to your question would be, I would say the first 3 months. After the first 3 months, I started noticing a change in her, with the appetite and with just with overall general. And the lovely thing was that most of her friends also at that time also got dogs. So that was a good thing, where she had one of her friends that was also there with her that had a dog already at home. And so
You
the
mean
people that
adopt?
already
You mean
had dogs
adopt
got more
another dog?
correct. So, but yeah, it was just it was just overall, it was very good for her, because she had somebody to talk to, but not really talking to them, but just communicating with them kind of like telepathically.
Yes.
And just getting that unconditional love.
Exactly.
Unconditional love. So, and I mean, she's always wanted a dog because she's the only child. So that I find that was very beneficial for her. And she got to learn a lot about dogs that she never knew before, training them. She used to train her with treats, and we taught her high fives, we taught her spin. There were little tricks that we taught, and that was my daughter was able to teach her, not even me, my daughter. So I just think that's she treats her like her first sister. That's her sister.
Right.
So,
Right. A sibling,
yeah.
and so, in the day-to-day life with Honey at home, Honey, like, she follows Angelina everywhere. Does she sleep with Angelina? How attached are they?
Very attached. I mean, yeah, of course she would fall. I'm at home most of the time. So, but yeah, when Angie's here, she'll go to work or she'll go to class. And as soon as she comes back, Honey would be, wagging her tail, standing by the door, waiting for her. As soon as she gets home, she'll go up to her and she'll jump up and start really like kissing her nose and her lips, like giving her tons of honey kisses, tons. And it's only with her. Like with me, she'd give me a kiss also. When I ask her, can I have a kiss, she'll give me kisses. But with her, that attachment there, it's like as soon as she comes home, she'll run up to her and like lick her all, she'll just like kiss her whole face.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and distinctly with her.
Yeah.
So it's she knows that she chose me, she has me here for a purpose.
Yes.
So and yeah, and as far as Honey sleeping with my daughter, the first year, I believe, when we were potty training her and she was young, she was actually in her crate, which she did very well with. She was crate trained from the beginning, so that went very well. And she's completely housebroken, never has accidents. So after the first year, we started letting her sleep on my bed with me, and then with Angelina, which is her room is upstairs. So, but that is honestly the greatest. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. That bond there, it's not like you have a dog. It's not your dog. It's like your little baby.
Yes.
It's your little fur, it's your fur baby.
Yes. Yes. So it's amazing, because what Angelina went through is terrible, trauma. And we're seeing this happening in the US, and it's something that is right now happened again. And this is why Nurture Your Pet wanted to bring awareness of how a pet can be of tremendous emotional support. I have not gone through trauma, but I have gone through losses in my life. And in my case, the minute I got my doggies home, it helped me, because there are moments, Geeta, where we all can go to a counselor, and that's fabulous. We can go to a counselor and we talk for an hour, and the counselor gives us tools and listens to us and tools how to manage. But we're at home, and we get home, and there are so many gaps and moments where we're alone in the house, and then the memories come flooding in. And in my case, having my doggie sit on my lap and just placing my hand on him or her and that in itself was very calming and soothing. And the way the doggy breathes, you know, he's calm, maybe he's asleep. And the fact that, you know, your cat or your dog is asleep on top of you, that in itself is so calming and so soothing. So it's amazing what they can do for you. I had a lot of anxiety with my losses, but there are people who have, you know, post-traumatic stress disorder, like Angelina, definitely, that's much more serious issue. Then there are people that have depression, and there are people that have physical disabilities. And you know, there are people that are just lonely. They're at home, they're lonely, and here they have a wonderful angel at home to sit and watch TV with them, eat with them, walk with them. Um, yes, that's another thing. The pet can also help you physically with a little bit of exercise, walking him or her. Um, I wanted to also, you know, bring forth the fact that emotional therapy dogs are different from just dogs that you adopt from a shelter. They're a little bit different. The possibility is there. So in the sense that, you know, we go to a shelter, if we have a specific thing that we're suffering from, nurture your pet. Hi, honey. How are you? Oh, okay. No, we love you. We love you. I know your emotional support. Can we see her?
Yeah, hang on.
She gonna come?
Thank you. Go to daddy. Go to daddy.
Okay.
Daddy rescued her.
Daddy rescued her. So, you know, if you have a specific, this is what we feel at Nurture Pet. We're not an authority, we're not counselors or anything, but sometimes one brings a puppy home from the shelter, and it happens that the puppy or doggy or cat is not matching with the personality of the person, and it's not really helping. So if you are, that's what we feel, and you tell me if you know your opinion. We bring a puppy in Honey's case, a match. In my case, also I didn't bring a specific emotionally, you know, pet, you know, home, but emotionally trained pet home. I just brought my pet, and just by sheer love, you know, just the fact that they love you, and I get up in the morning and I get no less than 100 kisses and licks, and that already sets me for the day, you know. And but then there are pets that one might need for a specific reason. So what we're going to do when Nurture Pet is we are going to list a set of different websites where there are shelters that specifically train the stray dogs and the you know, abandoned dogs, and train them specifically to be emotional support pets. That way the pet parent does not get disappointed, and at times when they get disappointed, I believe they bring the pet back to the adoption center, which is heartbreaking for both. But that's how we feel. I know Honey was immediately matched. For me, it was a match too. But yeah, you were mentioning once to me that there was someone had brought a pet home, and it seemed that the pet needed more support at times. So therefore, I think it's, yeah.
Correct. Yes. And I guess it would be easier if it's just one person, like for me or for my daughter or for you, and you get along, you have a match. But if you're bringing home for a family, you have 2 or 3 or 4 kids, yeah, that could be a little bit tricky, because you don't know the temperament of the dog.
Exactly.
And with your kids, if they're, you know, if they're really aggressive and wild, obviously you would need a dog that's more grounding, calming for them. So
Right.
yeah, that's when it gets a little bit complicated.
Exactly. So that's what we're planning to do. Our objective is to also make, you know, people, the audience understand that, hey, you know, having a pet is so special, and valuing the pet, nurturing the pet is important, but seeing the value and the power that a pet has to transform your family, your children, your parents, your elderly parents, you know, and transform. And I see this changing, and I'm so glad that, you know, I mean, 20 years ago, we did not have as many pet lovers as we have today. And I'm really, really happy to see that, because the healing that a pet can provide for you in every which way, and even if you're not suffering from someone, if you're just plain lonely, and that happens a lot too, how valuable that is. Geeta, you know, we at Nurture Your Pet and everyone else who's watching this, we are so happy for you. We are happy that Angelina has made tremendous progress. And thank you so much. And we are praying for all the other children that are going through it today as we speak, with the events that happened in Texas. We're praying for them. We're praying for healing. And this is maybe perhaps one way that, you know, it can be approached with a wonderful companion. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be valued. And yes, I hope, I mean, I hope that more people consider that, because we need each other. Pets, dogs need us as much as we need them.
Yes.
And it can be beneficial for both.
Absolutely. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Give
Thank you,
Angelina a
Neetu.
big hug from me. Bye-bye.
I will.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.